Hello, hello, and welcome back to Tennis Ace. So we're back in class, right? Yeah. The sound of the bell snaps me out of my daze. I get the feeling that this has been happening a lot lately. Last week I had an excuse for it given the overtraining. Now though, hey, Yuichi, are you headed to practice today? June approaches me with a big smile, his bag hanging from his shoulder. I have to. Practice is daily, after all. Really? Mizuguchi-san said you skip practice a lot, though. Uh, of course she did. By the way, June, aren't you going to take part in a competition soon? I catch his excitement drain in a second as his whole body sighs. June, hold yourself together. June starts taking deep, rhythmic breaths. Repeating this a few times seems to have relaxed him a bit. What's with that reaction? Sorry. Is there something going on that I should know? No, it's just that. I'm a little nervous about it, that's all. That's true. You did tell me it has been a few years since you last played in front of other people. And June nods meekly. Yeah, it's been about 7 years since my last competition. Damn, that's a lot of time. Why the big break in your career? Well, I had family issues to deal with. I see. Still, it's a good thing that you decided to get back to it. You really look very happy when you're playing the piano. I really enjoy watching you. My words make him pause as he takes a step back and stares at me with awe. I'm glad you think so. That's the June I know. How many songs are you performing next week? 2. Saints, these are words, You don't have to tell me the name. I won't know what you're talking about anyway. Sorry. Are those songs any harder than the one I heard you play? The one you heard, that was Moonlight Sonata, 3rd movement. I'll just nod and pretend I know that name. They're easier songs, at least on a technical aspect, but... What? You need something other than just technique? Well, no, not really. Then you're worrying over nothing. I suppose so. Well, I'm heading over to the music room to practice. They let you use it without a supervisor? Sure. I've been using it every day since I transferred here. I think I should start dropping by more often. See you tomorrow. See ya. Guess I should get going too. I probably should attend practice more often. I don't want June thinking I'm some kind of lazy, but... Right as I'm leaving my classroom, I bump into someone that was trying to go in, and we both fall to the floor. What are you... Keisuke is rubbing his backside with a pained expression. At least look where you're... As soon as we lock eyes, he trails off. I get up and offer him a helping hand. Sorry about that, I was distracted. He dusts himself off with his hands. It's fine. I was looking for you anyway. Couldn't you just wait for me at the courts? That's exactly what I came to tell you. I talked to Coach. Practice has been canceled today. What? Why? Apparently, they were supposed to fumigate the volleyball court today, and and did a bad job of isolating it. Now the whole building needs to be fumigated. Coach said that should be finished by Wednesday. You're kidding. We can't have a 2-day break in practice. Don't yell at me, I'm just the messenger. Sorry. Oh, come on. The one time I'm actually excited to practice. Well, we'll just have to find something else to do now. I think Mikazuchi-senpai said she's going to try and pick up a few shifts at the cafe. What are you planning to do today? Hey, come on. Don't look so surprised that I'm actually showing interest in you. Practice? Practice? How? Do you have a tennis court at home or something? I do, but that's not what I'm going to practice. Then what are you going to practice? Don't tell me you're practicing drawing for the manga club. No. I never intended to draw. I'm only in the manga club because I enjoy reading it. Anyway, considering the message delivered, I'm going home now. See you tomorrow. Without letting me get another word in, Kei-kun turns around and walks out. Damn, he can be pretty intense sometimes. So, there's no practice today, huh? What should I do? Actually, wait a minute. I'm going to... that looks fine. Let's go to Shuichi. I wonder, maybe Shuichi is finished for the day, too. I guess I'll drop by the student council room. Well, at least if he's not, I get to have fun watching him freak out over paperwork. Win-win. As I come across to the student council room office, I hear two people talking inside. From their tone, they seem to be in a bad mood. I recognize one of them immediately as Shuichi. The other is unfamiliar to me. I give a light knock and on the door. Immediately, the two silence. I hear hurried steps coming over to the door, and it is suddenly opened with force. I'm sorry, but we're quite Oh. Is something wrong here? What's with that look he has on his face? Is this about time? No, I'm sorry to have been rude. Is there anything you need? I peer over his shoulder and see a cheetah girl absent-mindedly fiddling with a stack of papers. Is it just me, or is she glaring at me? Yep, definitely bad timing. Urata-senpai, we don't have time for chit-chat. If we want to get these papers done by the end of the day, we're going to need to hurry. Her voice echoes from inside the room. She sounds so stuck up. Yeah, I know. Kisaragi, let's just take a break. We've been at it non-stop since this morning anyway. I need to stretch my legs. But... She tries to protest, but Shuichi just waves his hand in dismissal. The girl groans and plops down on a chair, looking right at me with eyes full of fury. Shuichi steps out of the room, closing the door behind him. Sorry, it's been kind of a long day. You've been at this since this morning. Please tell me you haven't been here since we split up at the gate. And the look on his face tells me everything I need to know. Someone made a huge mistake with some paperwork and completely blew the school festival's budget out of the sky. How bad is it? Well, let's just say a few clubs are going to have their budgets slashed in half for the rest of the year, and leave it at that. What the hell kind of mistake did they make? Don't worry about it. Plus, I managed to save the budget of the tennis club, so you don't have to worry about your training being compromised. What about the volleyball club budget? Oh, reduced budget isn't going to kill us. But how did this even happen?
Someone forgot to double check before submitting and didn't see a couple of extra zeros.
I'm sorry to hear that. What's he going to do now?
Well, provided the cops don't find his body, he'll just lie quietly in the ditch.
Okay, usually I find these jokes funny, but now I can't tell if you're joking.
I could tell, but I'm not sure if you'd managed to keep it from the police during questioning.
For the love of God, just say just kidding or something. Shuichi laughs and giving me a few pats on the shoulder.
Sorry, I'll stop messing with you. It's just, you're so easy, I can't help it.
Well, gee, I'm glad I'm such a good comic relief for you. Anyway, I was hoping we could go home today. When did you think you might be finished? His face goes stiff again. He scratches the back of his neck awkwardly, avoiding eye contact.
Sorry, Soichi. Today's just not a good day. I think I'll only get to leave once school closes. Besides, didn't you have practice today?
They did a bad job of isolating the volleyball courts, and now they had to hurry it up to fumigate ours as well.
Oh, but we don't have the money to pay for the tennis court fumigation. It didn't even need to be fumigated. Oh crap! They're going to take it out on the festival budget, aren't they?
Don't worry. I'm sure the students would riot if they did. Plus, I don't think the company would charge for it, considering it was their fault and all. His expression softens a bit. He sighs in relief.
You're right. I'm just being paranoid. Sorry. I think you should go home on your own today.
I can wait. I don't mind.
What? I just told you it'd take hours. What would you even do? Just sit there and wait for us to be done?
Pretty much, yeah. He stands there in a daze, gaping.
Are you sure?
Shuichi, I don't mind waiting for a bit. If it minds, I get to spend some time with you. You did promise me this morning that you'd use this little break of yours to spend more time with me, didn't you? He seemed shocked to hear my words, mouthing something off without actually making a sound. He turns his back to me and hastily opens the door to the room again.
All right, you can wait inside. I have to get back to it already.
Weren't you supposed to be stretching your legs?
I don't feel like it.
Shuichi drops down onto his chair, pulling up a pile of folders. He quietly flips through the sheets of paper, calmly examining each and every one of them. I watch as his eyes attentively scan through every word that's printed on those papers. Meanwhile, I can feel the cheetah's murderous glare, even without having to look over her way. Almost as if my mere presence here were somehow offensive. After quite a few of some of the most boring hours of my life, a teacher came by and asked us to leave. Jeesh, he really wasn't kidding when he said we'd be sticking around until the school closed for the day.
Sorry you got held up for so long.
It's fine. I'm the one who asked to stay anyway.
And that's exactly why I insisted that you didn't. I still feel bad about it. How about I treat you to some food as an apology?
You have no reason to apologize.
Then it's thank you.
He's really not taking no for an answer, huh? All right, if you insist on spending your money on me, I have no reason to say no. Shuichi laughs and nods, turning around as we start leaving school. Shuichi leads me through the busy streets in front of the train station. Many people come and go through different stores and restaurants. Most of the most specific places, such as sporting goods stores, have closed down for the day. Instead, we see multiple eateries and diners opening up. An amazed, dazzling amount of people come and go through the intersections, enough to make you lose track of your surroundings. It would truly be hard to keep track of my bearings if I weren't so used to it already. Also, being next to a giant like Shoichi does help a lot. People make way for him as he walks, opening a small path through the crowd towards wherever he wants to go. I simply follow behind him, making sure to follow his path he's opened before it closes and we end up separated. Boy, would it be hard to track him again if I got lost. We take a turn at an intersection. I've never been here before. The masses of people slowly dwindle to just a few stragglers here and there. The fluorescent lights of the lampposts slowly turn into traditional paper lanterns. We walk for a few dozen minutes, before finally taking one last turn towards the left. I take care to map the way in my head so I can come here later. Well, maybe not come here later, but at least not get lost around these parts. You never know what might happen.
Wow.
We are greeted by a gigantic assortment of stores and lights as we enter a small gallery-like corridor of old-timey buildings. I see shapes and carts selling different varieties of traditional food, clothing, and all kinds of trinkets that I've never seen before.
Huh, surprising, isn't it?
What is this place?
It's the old Saitama Market. It used to be the most popular area in the city, before we had shopping malls and train stations. But now that the city has expanded so much and the town center has shifted to another location, people stopped coming here because it was so far away from everything else. Most of the stores stores here are very traditional. Family ornament places. Some of these businesses have existed for generations already. It's everything some of these people have ever known. I really like this place. I come here all the time.
I've never even knew this place existed. It's so beautiful. It's like a small festival inside the city.
You could say that. The food around here is delicious too. I think to come around just to browse and eat, I get something new almost every day. Well, I used to at least. I barely have time to come here anymore, and when I do, it's just to grab a quick meal and be on my way. It's a bit sad to think about.
Shuichi's eyes lazily scan the environment, a conflicted smile on his face. I can see just how much he likes this place. His eyes twinkle with the light of the countless lanterns, burning bright with life. And just seeing him like that is enough to make a little swell of happiness pop up inside my chest. And what made you decide to share your secret hiding spot with me? He scratches awkwardly at his neck.
It's not exactly a hiding spot, much less a secret one. It's just when I feel like I have too much on my plate and the stress starts getting to me, I come to this place to relax. I mean, look at the people around. There aren't many, but there are all content to just leisurely walk by, enjoying the experience and taking their time. I like this place because of how quiet it is. It's a place I can go to escape the hectic schedule I have to deal with every day. What you said this morning was true. It's overwhelming sometimes, and there are days I wish I could just run away from everything. But whatever. I feel like I'm starting to drown. I come to this place. It might be silly, but it helps put things in perspective. You have no idea what these people have to contend with in their lives, but when you come here, you can't spot a single sad face. They're all enjoying things without any rush, leisurely and at their own pace. It helps me to remember that I still have a life to live outside of the responsibilities I have. It's stupid, ain't it?
I have no idea. I can't help but feel a pang of guilt resonating in my chest. I get stressed whenever I think of my responsibilities, and yet Shoichi struggles with much more than I do on a daily basis. And yet I joked about him stressing himself all with himself out with uh, all of it so lightly. He's always right next to me, and I didn't even notice. Wasn't I the one who suggested to join the student council, or the one that convinced him to accept the captain position when he didn't want to? I'm a terrible friend for not paying attention to the people around me.
Sorry, I can tell from just looking at your face I ruined the mood, didn't I? I didn't know what's gotten over me. I suddenly just felt like I needed to tell you all about it. Come on, I'll make it up to you. Let me show you a great spot to grab a bite.
Before I can muster an answer, Shoichi has already grabbed my hand and started pulling me along as he guided me through the market. Watching his back move ahead of me, when did his view become so nostalgic? And why is it that I feel like he's trying to hide the look on his face from me right now? Shoichi, can I ask you something? He stops dead in his tracks, his ears flick nervously on top of his head. His tail just hangs there without moving. Without turning to me, he merely makes an inquisitive sound with his throat, not even vocalizing a word. Why have you never talked to me about this? If you were under so much pressure, why did you just keep quiet all this time? I'm always right next to you, and yet you've never leaned on me for support. Frankly, it hurts. Shuichi looks up at the night sky. His tail begins flicking slowly. Is he nervous? I wait in complete silence for a few seconds. I don't want to rush him. If he's opened up to me this much already, then I can let him take the next step too. I just focus on how warm his hand feels against me. It's such a pleasant and nostalgic feeling. He used to always lead me away by my hand, just like he's doing now. When was it that he stopped doing that? I hadn't noticed until now, but when was it that the sight of his back became so distant? Shit. I feel like I might start tearing up if I'm not careful.
Today reminded me of something.
Oh? I don't want to sound overeager.
You know, it really is my fault that we've drifted apart these past few years. I know that we still spend the most of our time together, but I just feel like there's been a rift between us lately. I noticed that things have gotten especially hard for you these past few years. I knew you were under immense pressure because of your career choice. I didn't want to be another burden on you, so I started keeping it to myself more often. And as I got swamped with more obligations and responsibilities, the time we had together diminished.
I never noticed. I've always focused on the time we've spent together, and I've never thought of the quantity of our interactions. To me, as long as we were always with each other, then nothing would have really changed. Now I realize that I had just been foolish. I was so concerned with my own problems that I turned a blind eye to my friend. I never noticed how excluded Keikun felt for us, or how Shoichi was suffering. I really am the worst.
And it's not with just you, Saya-chan, and God, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but even Urashihara. I've missed so many things these past 2 years. I've missed important moments from my friends, both old and new. Then as time passed by, and I got more and more used to keeping to myself, I noticed that I became harder and harder to open up.
It was a small thing, a minuscule motion that could have passed undetected at any other time. But now, as I focused my undivided attention on Sorichi's figure, I noticed his shoulders begin to quiver, ever so slightly.
Talking about myself, being honest about myself, what started as a conscious decision eventually became a block, and I just helplessly watched as you drifted further away from me. But today, having you around me, Just having you sit next to me while I worked, I surprised myself with how much it calmed me. Even just having you next to me was enough to make me happy.
His hand began to squeeze mine a little harder, almost as if he wanted to ascertain that I was really here, almost as if he was afraid that I'd go away somehow.
God, I feel so lame talking about so much crap like this, but I couldn't help it. I couldn't help but remember all the great times we had together when we were younger. It made me realize how much I missed you. Even the more trivial things, the times when you used to tutor me, or hell, even the times we'd fight, all of those things are precious memories to me. Sorry, I'm talking too much, aren't I?
I'm overwhelmed. I didn't think I'd ever seen Shoichi act so vulnerable in front of me. I always assumed that it was because he wasn't the type of person to have these kind of feelings. But I was wrong. He's just always been good at masking it. I'm sure that there are many more things that have hurt or stressed him out these past few years, and yet he's been making sure to blanket over them. He's kept us in the dark to avoid burdening us. The thought is just so incredibly sad. I take a few steps forward, letting my forehead rest against his back.
You?
My sudden gesture caught him by surprise. Without having time to put any walls, Shoichi's voice gave me a little glimpse of what he was really feeling. His voice was meek and frightful. Even if he acted like an adult at the time, he's nothing but a scared 18-year-old like the rest of us, isn't he? I get it, Shoichi. It must have been pretty hard for you, huh? Shoichi nods. I know I'm probably some good-for-nothing idiot. I couldn't even see that you've been suffering, even though you were always in front of me. But I promise you that I'll pay more attention from now on, okay? So, don't keep your guard up around me so much. It's okay to let me know things are hard for you too.
Jeez. I was already feeling like I was being super uncool. Now you're acting all lame too.
Me trying to be supportive of you is lame? You really need to rethink some stuff.
But really, thank you, Yuichi. Now, come on. I've already said too much, and the mood is all weird and awkward. I appreciate the support, but let's see if we can salvage this night before it ends.
Stop being stupid. It doesn't need to be salvaged.
Sure it does. Let's see if we can get some warm food. I'm starving.
He squeezes my hand again, this time much more softly.
And thank you. I'm really lucky to have a friend, to have you as a friend, aren't I?
You are. He chuckles softly, turning his back to me and leading me through the street once again. This time, though, he routinely looks back at me, smiling. We reach a little food cart, parked gingerly in a row of 6 or 7 other similar carts. The smell of food coming from them is so incredibly delicious. My mouth is watering already. Ah, Urata-kun. I was wondering when I'd see you again. It's been a while. A burly black bear emerges from... That is not the voice for a burly black bear. From the counter, just as we begin to sit down, smiling widely as he sees Shoichi's face. He wore a traditional Japanese chef coat, with a white shirt underneath.
Sorry for the long leave of absence. I've been very busy lately.
The bear chuckles, waving at a pair of stools.
Yeah.
I can't just do a deep voice for him.
I guessed as much. Come, have a seat. The usual again today.
Let's see. It's cold soba again. I thought you said you came here to try some new food. Shoichi shrugs.
Like I said, I haven't been here, had the time to lately. Now I just come here for some quick soba and get back home. His are some of the best I've had.
The bear puffs his chest with pride, pointing to a small writing on his sleeve that says, Sayonji Dining.
Years of experience on the job. I've inherited my business and my recipes from my father, who inherited it from his father, who inherited it from his father. We have decades of tradition preparing some of the best noodles in Saitama.
Shuichi laughs, putting his elbow on the counter and leaning into his head.
Oh, I see you're as excitable as always, huh? By the way, can I have a menu? This is my friend's first time here, and he tends to make a hassle out of choosing what to eat.
Hey!
Oh, shush. You know it's true.
The bear grins, going behind the counter and handing me a big laminated menu with various pictures of many seemingly tasty dishes.
Huh. I did think your face was pretty unusual. Wasn't sure if you have been here before. Take your time choosing. Meanwhile, I'll get started on Urata-kun's dish.
As he turned towards the sink, I turned my attention to the menu in my hand. Everything seems so good, I don't know what to choose. God, do I have to go through this every time I eat out?
Any time would... Any idea what you want to eat?
Nope.
Agonizing over every choice.
Yup.
This is going to take a while, isn't it?
Yup. I hear a soft chuckle next to me. Without even looking, I give him a gentle punch to the side. This time he laughs a little more audibly.
Every single time. Almost like clockwork. You really are easy to read.
Says the guy who ordered soba noodles at every place he goes.
Oh, ouch. Yeah, you got me now. Got me good. How will I ever outlive such shame?
You're an ass. He laughs again, and I can't help but smile. I sort of miss this routine. After many agonizing minutes of careful deliberation, I finally decide to order a seafood dish. By the time the ramen is ready and I start to dig in, Shuichi has almost finished his plate. Oh, this is really good. I can definitely feel a kick from the spice, but the ramen is very mild and springy. I kind of want to try making some.
Huh, glad you like it. I use white miso and a couple of other ingredients to make sure the ramens taste rich without being too fishy. You're out of luck though. Recently switched my fish supplier, and I haven't gotten to tweak the recipe for their fish's particular taste profile, so the dish is a bit of a mess.
If this is a miss, then I'll gladly come back when you've got it all down.
I'm glad you liked it. Enjoy.
Shuichi sets his finished dish aside and leans onto his hand, watching me eat.
See why I wanted to bring you here?
Mumbling incoherently, thank you very much.
I know you're excited, but please don't talk while you chew. It's disgusting.
I swallowed the food that was in my mouth. Sorry. I said yes, thank you very much. He gives me that smug smile he tends to wear on his face whenever someone tells him he's right. Don't get me wrong, he's my friend and I love him, but God, he can be an insufferable know-it-all when he wants to. Don't even start. I speak when he starts opening his mouth to speak. He laughs at my interruption and pulls out his wallet from his pocket, looking at the owner.
Are your prices still the same?
Yep.
Haven't had to adjust it since last spring. I'm glad things are going well here, though.
He hands him money to pay for the food. The bear takes out a paper towel from underneath the counter and uses it to pick up the money. I guess I looked at him funny because the bear, upon seeing my face, starts laughing. Well, I call it laughing, but in his case, it's more akin to a thunderous roar. The sudden echoing sound nearly has me jumping out of my chair in surprise.
Oops, sorry, didn't mean to scare you. I make sure to never handle money with my hands. Helps with keeping everything clean. When I pick it up, I always use alcohol wipes to make sure my hands stay disinfected. It's one of those things I like about this place. It's not just healthy, it's not just a healthy department clean, it's my clean.
Your kitchen is a mess. You can't find anything there.
Yeah, but it's a clean mess. That makes it all the difference.
I shake my head, making him snicker in amusement. After I'm done eating, Shoichi and I excuse ourselves and go out on our way. As we walk our way back, I see that Shoichi is in better spirits. He walks side by side with me, happily humming a familiar melody. Wait, isn't this one of the songs Keikun sang yesterday at karaoke? I guess it struck a chord with him all the same, not just me.
So, what did you think?
It was very good. Very good, actually. I'm surprised this place even exists, let alone that the food was so good, and everything looks so beautiful. The paper lanterns and the traditional decorations are so nice to look at.
And that's not all. Look up at the sky.
As I look up, I can see a few sparkling stars in the sky. Wow.
Yeah, I remember back when we were kids, you liked looking at the sky a lot. Unfortunately, since we live so close to the station, all of the strong lights make it hard to see the stars. It's still not 100%, you'd have to go out of town for that, but still, over here, you can kind of look at the stars.
It's beautiful. It's been years since I last saw a proper starry sky.
I'm glad you like it. I've been meaning to show you this place for a while, but I was always afraid you'd think it was boring. I was afraid of what that would mean for our friendship.
What? You thought that you would, you thought that if you took me someplace boring that I'd think you're boring and I'd stop hanging out with you? That's so childish.
Of course not. I was afraid you'd say something bad about this place, and I'd have to murder you for even uttering such nonsense.
Nothing says pleasant evening with a friend quite like a conversation about murder does.
I know, right?
I was joking.
I wasn't.
By the time by the way, did you manage to get the thing sorted out with the paperwork?
Somehow. It was pretty bad, though. A lot of budgets have had to take a gash because of it. I think a lot of people are going to be pissed at me when they find out.
I'm still surprised the school let you guys budget for that.
I think it's less them letting us and more them not wanting to pay an accountant to do it.
Knowing our principal, I somehow don't doubt it.
By the way, I'd like to ask you not to show up unannounced again. I don't really mind, but Kusaragi was really pissed.
Why do you care? You're the council president.
Yeah, but you've seen her, right? She's terrifying.
She's a freshman.
A terrifying freshman.
I sigh, which somehow makes Shoichi laugh.
Well, I'm more or less free today, so I guess we could spend the day together again if you wanted to. I'll be honest, I didn't realize how much I missed going out. Oh, excuse me. Just the two of us until today.
I'll think about it.
Yeah, don't neglect your obligations just to spend time with me.
Oh, I will. Don't neglect your sleep just to spend time with your obligations.
Hey, I don't do that anymore. Speaking of sleep, it's getting kind of late already. I think we should probably head home.
Yeah, what time is it? What time is it even? Let me check my phone. Wow, it's after 9 p.m.
Yeah, that walk back home is going to be at least 40 minutes. I wish we could walk around so I can show you more spots, but we do have school tomorrow.
Ever the responsible student, are we?
I do have to make up for your share after all.
Huh, true. By the way, do you want to spend the night at my place? Your dad is still out of town, isn't he?
Yeah, but...
He hesitates to answer.
Maybe next time. I still have stuff at home that I need to do before I go to bed, and I can't go to school in the same uniform I wore today. I have to put this one in the washing machine.
I'm sorry. What did you say? I kind of fell asleep for a second.
Har har, I know I'm boring, but you're a smartass.
It's fine. I've always admired that side of you anyway. I don't really have the patience to make sure every little thing is neat and organized. I don't know how you do it.
It's called parental indoctrination. It's really fun. You should try it sometime.
Pass. Even as we make our way back quite a while after initially leaving, the activity hasn't died down one bit. In fact, there seem to be even more people out now, to the point that even Shoichi has a hard time making his way through. By the time we finally reach the station, the central clock in front of it already reads 9:35 p.m.
Guess you're going to get home pretty late.
I try to laugh at that, but someone accidentally elbows me in the rib, and I feel the wind getting knocked out of me. Shoichi immediately notices and doubles back towards me.
Are you alright?
Yeah, some asshole just elbowed me in the stomach is all. I just need to catch my breath.
Be careful. If I don't deliver you home in one piece, your mom will kill me.
Actually,
don't even try.
I suppress a laugh. Shuichi gives me a stern look, as if half expecting me to do something dumb just to tick him off. I have to admit, the idea is amusing. No, I'll resist the temptation to do something stupid. I'd probably regret it later. Actually, I feel a little weird. I guess the guy must have hit me harder than I thought. I feel a little faint. Well, it might just be the fatigue getting to me. Either way, I'll get some rest when I finally get home. When we finally reach my house, it's already 10 p.m. I'm almost sure I'll get berated for getting home this late. That's odd. All the lights are out. Mom should still be in the living room at this time.
Doesn't seem like there's anyone home.
Yeah, that's weird. Hang on a second. I'll try calling my mom. As I'm staring to start to dial her number, I remember her telling me something last night. Oh, yeah. She's out of town for a business trip. She's supposed to come back tomorrow night.
What about Aki?
Well, I'm not sure about that. Let me see if he sent me a message. Now that I look at it, I see that Aki did, in fact, sent me a message a couple hours ago. Aki says he's going to spend the next 2 days at a friend's house. The little shit took advantage of Mom being away from town to leave without asking for permission. I'll have to give him a piece of my mind later.
Well, at least nothing awful happened. At least be glad about that. Anyway, I have to be on my way.
Are you sure you don't want to spend the night spend the night over here?
Yup. Can't do that right now. Don't worry. I'll invite myself over when I have the time.
Sure, drop by whenever you want. He waves at me and walks away towards his house. I open the door with a click, my head spinning with the key as I unlock it. I've started to feel increasingly worse as I got back home. I didn't even know how tired I was. My fur is a bit damp with sweat. When did I even start sweating this much? I need to lie down. I climbed the stairs towards my room. Maybe I should have told Shoichi I wasn't feeling well. He might have stuck around to make sure I'm okay. As I'm almost at the end of the stairs, I decide to detour towards the toilet room in a higher priority. Where's the bidet? Maybe the pain in my stomach isn't from the blow I took earlier. Oh god, I think I'm going to be sick. I barely have time to open the lid of the toilet to lean in my head into it before it happens. Yep, I should have definitely told Shuichi I felt like crap. As I spent countless hours cursing my misery, my night slowly ticked away, stuck in a bathroom with a constant bout of pain, nausea, and vomiting. Ugh, okay. Yes. My eyes struggled to open. My eyelids feel heavy and unresponsive. No, my whole body feels that way. Maybe my throat feels scratchy, hot, and uncomfortable. Somehow I feel like I'm hot and cold at the same time. I feel as if I had someone sitting on my chest. No matter how much I want to move, my body does not budge. All I can hear is the sound of a clicking clock. Whoa. Slowly, I can feel my consciousness returning. Once my eyes get adjusted to the brightness, I begin to look around. At least my body can move again. Wait, is this my room? How did I even get here? Last time I remember is being in a bathroom. I felt really sick and my whole body hurts. As I'm adjusting myself on my bed, I feel something heavy on top of my thigh. What? I look down and... Shoichi? I see Shoichi sitting on a chair, hunched over the bed, peacefully sleeping. He's using my leg as a pillow of some sort, breathing slowly and deeply. When did he get here? He's beginning to shift, being stirred awake by my sudden movement and noise. He blinks sluggishly. His mouth opens in a comical large fashion as he yawns, sitting up on his chair and lazily rubbing his eyes.
Ah, Yuichi. Yuichi, you're awake. How are you feeling?
Like I fought one round too many with an angry badger or something. What are you doing here? I shuffle around in my bed. At that moment, I realize something's missing. I do not feel the familiar sensation of fabric against my fur. I look down and underneath the blanket and... Ugh! Did you take my clothes off?
Yeah, sorry about that. You were covered in vomit when I found you, so I didn't think you didn't want to keep wearing those clothes. I gave you a quick rinse and got you into bed. I also put your clothes in the washing machine.
Oh. Sorry for the trouble. Do you have any idea what happened to me? Shuichi gets up from his chair, stretching his back and yawning. How long has he been out? Has he been here?
You didn't show up for class today. I tried to give you a call around 10, but you weren't answering either, so I decided to drop by and check up on you. I hope you don't mind that I used your spare key, by the way.
I don't. What else happened?
I found you collapsed in the bathroom. You were looking awfully pale. I didn't really know what to do, so I cleaned up after you and dragged you into bed.
My memory is really fuzzy. I can't remember much of what happened after I came home. I seem to recall feeling sick. And there was a lot of puking involved. I remember my legs being so weak that I couldn't stand.
I'm sorry.
Huh? What about?
I got a call from Banta-san, the owner of the food stand we went to yesterday. He called me to check up on my friend after he found out his new supplier sent him a shipment of bad shrimp. That's why I decided to drop by when he didn't show up this morning. So really, this is my fault. If I hadn't taken you there yesterday, you'd have been fine. I'm sorry.
No, you don't have to apologize. I'm fine. I get up from the bed, jumping back on my feet. Huh?
Hey!
It all went by so fast that my mind only registered it afterwards. My legs failed as soon as I tried to put my weight on them and I fell. Shuichi reacted fast and grabbed me before I could hit the floor. Shuichi falls to his knees as he grabs me, my face landing squarely on his chest.
Yuichi, are you okay? Jeez, don't be so reckless. You're obviously not okay. You're burning with fever, for God's sake.
My mind doesn't really register his words right away. I try pushing myself away from him, but I can't pull any force in my arms. My body struggles to even move. Why can't I?
I told you to calm down. You are weak and severely dehydrated. When was the last time you had a drink?
Last night at the food court.
Damn, that long ago. We need to get some food and water into you ASAP. Hang on, I'll grab you a glass of water.
Shuichi grabs me tightly and tries to move me back to bed. Once his hand touches my stomach, my whole body attempts to pull back, making me yelp in pain.
Sorry, just bear it for now, okay?
Once he's sure that I'm safely tucked into bed, Shuichi gets up.
I'll be right back. Please stay still while I'm away.
I've never been one to listen to orders before. I try moving around a bit, but my body refuses to do as it's told. I can't even hold a tight grip. Before I even had time to miss him, Shuichi is already back. God, he was so fast. Did he run all the way here?
Here you go. Just make sure to...
I immediately snatched the water glass from his hand, and just looking at it makes me realize how thirsty I am.
Wait!
My entire vision goes black for a sec. A wave of nausea hits me instantly, my stomach beginning to churn.
Use this.
Shuichi puts a small bucket in front of my face. I grab it tightly as tightly as the water I just drank is violently ejected out of my stomach.
Yuck. I was going to tell you to pace yourself, but you really were in a rush. Your stomach is really upset right now. You have to take it easy so it can have time to adjust.
Sorry.
Don't worry about it. I'll go, empty the bucket and get you another glass of water. Be right back.
And just as he gets up to leave, I notice a stain has gotten on his cuff of his uniform. Shuichi, he looks down at the spot I'm staring at.
Oh, this. Don't worry about it. I'll wash it once I get home.
And once again, I'm all by myself. Only now do I realize the sun rays hitting the drapes of the bedroom. Wait, it can't be that late already, can it? I look around for a bit to find my phone on top of the dresser next to my bed. I pick it up to check the time. It's 1:23, 1:22, and he said he left class to check on me. That means he's been here for quite a few hours already. And he spent all this time taking care of me. Oh God, I can't believe he went through all of this to take care of me. A wave of guilt assaults me. I put the phone down and try getting up again. Even though he told me not to, I just can't stand lying in bed like this. My stomach begins to churn, and my legs try to resist me at every step. They start shivering uncontrollably, and I fear I may collapse. Let's try to get up. Let's be a rebel. I don't care if they object. They're my legs, and they should do as I say. I try taking a step and feel my body starting to bulk. Instinctively, I reach out for my nightstand, putting as much force on my arms as I can to break my fall. Crap. It takes a couple seconds to stabilize, but I manage to hold myself up somehow. Even though I've barely moved, I'm already breathing heavily and panting. As I try as I might, I feel completely exhausted. But just this much isn't enough to make me give up. I try to take another step, and this time, it comes much easier than the last. Even though my entire body is screaming for me to stop, I refuse to give in. I take a step at a time. I'll be damned if I'll stay in bed just because of food poisoning.
What are you doing?
Are you wearing oh. He changed clothes. I look at the door and see Shuichi rushing towards me. Before I can react, he grabs me by my waist and lifts me over his shoulder.
Well, seriously, when will you learn?
Why are you so strong? He tosses me back on my bed. Ow, at least put me down a little more gently.
No, that's what you get for not listening to me.
He rubs the bridge of his nose, his entire face scrunched up in a frown. Huh? Wait, Shuichi, you've gotten changed.
Oh, this? As luck would have it, I decided to pack some extra clothes today, since I wouldn't be having volleyball practice. Big coincidence, huh? Well, not that it matters now. Here's your water. Just go slow this time. Take it half a sip at a time. You don't have to stare at the water like that, you know. It's not going to hurt you or anything.
As if I react the same way as last time. And just so we're clear, you haven't poisoned this, right?
Just drink the damn water already, before I force it down your throat.
All right, calm thyself. I place the tip of the glass on my lips and let some water run down my mouth. Oh man, I so want to drink this whole thing already. But I can't keep causing trouble for Shuichi, and I'm sure he wouldn't like to get puked on again. No bucket this time?
You're not going to throw up.
How do you know that?
I had to take care of Hitoka when we were kids and my parents were out of town. Mom gave me a bunch of instructions on how to treat food poisoning over the phone. I never forgot them.
I guess that's a pretty decent perk to having a trained nurse for a mother.
Yup. I know you're supposed to taking liquid very slowly so your stomach can get used to ingesting stuff again. Then once you can take a glass of water without throwing up, I'll get you some soup so you can actually have some nutrients in you.
Well, I guess I could do worse than water and convenience store soup. You seem to be plenty prepared for this.
Yeah, well, I had some time when I was waiting around for you to wake up, so I went out and bought some ingredients for soup.
Wait, ingredients? Wait, he's not talking about making it from scratch, is he? Please God, tell me it ain't so. Before I could vocalize my doubt, Shuichi's entire body relaxes. He's basically throws himself down on a chair he's placed next to my bed. Are you alright?
Oh, yeah, just a little tired. I stayed up pretty late working on stuff for the council.
You're going to work yourself to death if you keep this up.
I'll be fine. You don't have to worry about me.
Really? You're going to say that after that whole conversation we had yesterday? And here I thought he had taken my advice to heart.
I promise if it gets to be too much, I'll say something, okay? It's just that I honestly don't think it's too bad right now.
Excuse me.
I still have a reduced workload. I was just making up for some delays I had yesterday.
These delays wouldn't happen to be because you took me out yesterday instead of going home to work, would they?
Well, kinda.
I should have said no to his offer yesterday. It would have been better for both of us. So, Doc, what course of treatment do you have in mind for me?
Really, Doc?
Yeah, you're the one in charge of treating me, aren't you?
True enough. We're not gonna do anything too fancy. Just plenty of fluids and rest.
That's it? What a quack. I knew I should have gone to a real doctor.
Oh, I set up that if you want. I could set that up if you want, yeah. I'll drag you back to the bathroom floor, and I'll leave you lying there without your phone. Then you can feel free to call a real doctor.
How can you say something so terrifying with such a look on your face? Well, on second thought.
That's what I thought. Well now, it's just a matter of being patient. You'll keep drinking little sips of water every couple of minutes, for a while until your stomach gets better.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Now it's Captain. Make up your mind already.
Despite the burning sensation in my throat, the painful feeling in my stomach, and overall weakness, I'm having a surprisingly good time. It's been so long since Shoichi and I had an entire day just to ourselves, without worrying about anything else. It feels good to talk to him for a long time, like we used to when we were kids. Although it was still embarrassing to have him dress me up. I didn't know what was worse, being only in my boxer briefs or having someone you've known for a decade play dress up with your body. Just then, our attention is snapped towards the echoing sound of a doorbell. Someone's here? That's weird.
Oh, that's right. I sent everyone a message after I found you. I told them you were sick and that I was taking care of you. Junkun and Urashiraha said they'd be coming after school. Oh, and Saya-chan asked me to tell you she couldn't make it because she has a shift today. She told me to apologize on her behalf.
What? It's no trouble, really. I'm surprised everyone would go on their way like this to come see me.
What are you talking about? They're your friends. What did you expect us to do?
Well, this part's running long. I think I'll end it here. So I'll see you around, everyone.